Hello, dear friends. Today, we're about to dive into a story full of twists and surprises. Will fate change who Alex is? The important decisions he's about to make today. Will they be enough to keep him by Tuna and little Henry's side? Or will they push him away from his love? But that's not all. The woman who's always scheming and plotting. Could she use dark tricks to steal Alex away? What will she do to win back his heart when everything seems on the verge of change? And then the surprises and secrets that have yet to be revealed will come to light in today's episode. Will love and loyalty be enough to triumph? Or will Alex have to face choices that change his life forever? Stay tuned and listen closely, because this story will definitely keep you on the edge of your seat. That evening's dinner wasn't just a regular family meal. It felt more like a battlefield of hidden thoughts behind every glance. The table was set with carefully prepared dishes, but no one seemed to eat comfortably. Mrs. Lon, Mai's mother, cheerfully talked about their upcoming plans for the wedding, mentioning that everything would be arranged in a few months. Mai sat beside her, gentle and polite, but occasionally stealing glances at Alex. And she realized his eyes weren't here. They seemed to be lost somewhere else. Somewhere with a girl named Tuna and a boy named Henry. Alex put his chopsticks down. A small clink echoed, but it was enough to make everything fall silent. He looked straight into his mother's eyes. "I'm sorry, but I can't marry Mai." The air grew heavy. Mrs. Min furrowed her brow, about to say something, but Alex spoke before she could stop him. "My heart belongs to someone else. I love Tuna. And Henry, her son, is like my own." Mrs. Lon was stunned. Mai slightly lowered her head. Mrs. Min couldn't hide her disappointment and fear, but Alex didn't stop. His voice wasn't one of defiance, but of a man who had decided to stop pretending. "You've always taught me to live honorably, so I'll be honest with my feelings. Tuna isn't who you think she is. She's strong, gentle, and always thinks of others before herself. Henry is a sweet, well-behaved child. If you just meet them once, I believe you'll understand why I want to protect this family so much." The table fell into silence. No one spoke another word. But this silence wasn't heavy. It was uncertain, trembling. That night, Alex couldn't stay at home. He called Tuna and took her and Henry to a park by the lake. The night sky was cool and soothing. The wind gently rustled the tree leaves. Henry lay in his stroller, his big eyes gazing up at the starry sky, occasionally waving his hands as if he wanted to touch those distant lights. Tuna sat beside him silent as Alex held her hand and squeezed it gently. "I told them today," Alex said softly. "Mom might be angry. There may be more challenges ahead. But from this moment on, I won't let you and Henry be left behind anymore." Tuna didn't answer. She just leaned her head on his shoulder. No tears, no promises, but that moment felt more certain than any vow in the world. Alex looked up at the sky and pointed to the brightest star. "Henry, do you see that that's our family's star? I promise, no matter what happens, I'll keep it shining." Henry didn't understand, but he giggled joyfully as if giving the purest, most innocent consent. And at that moment, Alex knew whether there would be storms or calm ahead, he had chosen his path. and he would fight to the end to protect it. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight peeked through the leaves outside, Tuna was hanging Henry's little clothes on the clothesline when she heard the soft sound of the gate opening behind her. She turned around and froze. Mai was standing there. Gone was the elegant dress and flawless appearance from last night. Mai was now wearing just a simple white shirt, her face calm, but her gaze deep and unreadable. Tuna felt a bit awkward, unsure how to greet her. But Mai spoke first. "I'm here to talk, woman to woman." The two women sat facing each other in the small yard in front of the house. Henry was peacefully asleep in his cradle nearby, the steady sound of his breathing making the once tense air feel strangely soft. For a long while, neither of them spoke. Finally, Mai gently set her glass down on the table and looked straight into Tuna's eyes. "How much do you love Alex?" The question caught Tuna off guard. Mai didn't ask if she was scared or confident, but how much she loved him, as if she was searching for something certain before making her own decision. Tuna clenched her fists, but her voice remained calm. "I'm not sure how to put it exactly. If one day Alex has to leave me because of pressure, I'll still be here. Because my love isn't about holding on to him. It's about walking with him to the end of the road, no matter how hard it gets." Mai didn't say anything in response. She just looked down at Henry, the little boy, peacefully sleeping, unaware that the fate of all three adults was hanging on his presence. Then Mai stood up. She walked toward the gate, paused, not turning around, but her voice rang clear. "Tonight, you should prepare yourself. I'll bring Alex to you." Tuna stood frozen. She didn't know if that was an offer of help or a final test. Before walking away, Mai said one last thing soft, but enough to make Tuna's heart tremble. "Because he is the first man to dare live honestly with his heart. I can't be the one to make him lower his head again." The gate closed. Only the gentle breeze swayed the wind chimes on the porch, and the peaceful breathing of Henry remained. As Mai's figure faded behind the door of the cafe, Tuna sat alone, but her heart no longer felt helpless like before. Instead, a sense of clarity spread through her body. Everything that happened today was not as simple as she thought. She knew something was off, a scheme hidden behind Mai's sweet words. Tuna was no longer the weak girl she used to be. She had gone through too much pain and hardship to not become stronger, wiser with every step she took. She had learned how to recognize when she was being taken advantage of and when she needed to fight to protect what was precious to her. And today, Mai was a test, a challenge she had to overcome. Mai had tried to pull Alex into this tense situation, but Tuna was not someone who could be easily dragged into mind games. She knew that Mai didn't just want to prove something to Alex, but also wanted to test her loyalty to see if her sacrifice for Alex was big enough to withstand everything. But Tuna understood that she didn't need to prove anything to anyone. Love wasn't a game of winning or losing. Alex was the only person she needed to prove her love to, and that was enough. When the cafe door closed, Tuna held Henry in her arms, feeling the warmth of the child against her chest. Henry's little eyes fluttered shut, as if he understood that something important had happened today, even if he couldn't grasp it fully yet. Tuna sighed softly, looking out the window where raindrops fell gently as if everything around her was blending into a sad melody. She said nothing, only sat there silently, her mind full of thoughts of Alex. That man had sacrificed so much for her. He had dared to confront his family, endured his mother's opposition, and most of all, he had dared to love her, despite everything working against them. Tuna felt her heart fill with love and gratitude. Alex wasn't a perfect man, but he was the man she trusted, the one who gave her hope for a brighter future. A future where love would no longer be influenced by family or societal expectations. Henry shifted in her arms, and Tuna held him tighter. The feeling of safety and warmth was a reminder no matter how hard life got, she would always fight for love and her family. Alex might not know, but she would stand strong, never letting anyone, not even Mai, break the happiness she and Alex had built. 2. Nay gently kissed Henry's forehead and whispered, "Mom will always protect you, and we'll get through this with him."
Trước mắt trong lòng tôi dấy lên hàng trăm câu hỏi. Tại sao gì lại đối xử với mình như vậy? Mình đã làm gì sai?